Hello everybody, welcome back to another video for the day. Now we're going back into r/niceguystories because those storytime formats seem to be something you guys really like. So let's go for 2,000 likes on this video. Okay, let's go. Our first story comes to us from username Bury Me in Blue. Nice guy tutor turned stalker wants to kidnap me. So I'm not quite sure if he counts as a nice guy or not, but I sure hope you enjoy hearing about this absolute piece of work. So me, almost 2 years ago, was really struggling in most of my classes because I've always had a really hard time paying attention to things and retaining information. My very good-hearted friend, let's call him Nick, offers to introduce me to his friend who's a tutor. I, of course, graciously accept. This tutor, let's call him Blank because this is his actual name, I don't give a frick about his privacy, is awkward and gangly and all around kind of socially inept. I understand not being very good socially though, and during the tutoring sessions try to carry any little off-topic conversations we end up having. It's weird, but it works. He tried his best to be really patient with me, and sometimes he would buy me a drink or something from Starbucks or a vending machine. Nothing too big, but he'd always give them to me and tell me it was for being so nice/pretty/whatever compliment that day. So flash forward a few months to when I stopped needing tutoring and I stopped really seeing him. He still texts me every once in a while, which I didn't expect, but I was okay with because I guessed he had wanted to maybe make a new friend. We hung out together in groups of friends sometimes, but sometimes he would ask for us to hang out alone. The first and last time I agreed to go out with him alone to a small coffee shop near us, he asked me out in a really weird way. I don't know why I had never connected the dots to him being interested in me, but it came as a shock, which I think he could see on my face. I tried to let him down easy, telling him that I wasn't interested and that it wasn't his fault. I wasn't attracted to men in general. He was obviously disappointed, so we just sat there and had our drinks in silence for a while. Like the next day, Nick comes up to me and asks what happened between myself and Blank. I tell him what happened, and he explained that Blank made himself out to have been lit on and then insulted when I turned him down. Neither of these are true. I didn't do anything remotely to lead him on unless you count basic human decency, and I didn't say anything that I think could possibly be used as an insult. I stopped responding to his texts because I was angry that he would lie to a friend like that. He kept texting me without response for weeks until I finally texted him something along the lines of, "You lied to one of my best friends about me, please stop texting me." Then I blocked his number. Yes, I know it was petty and immature, but at this point in my life, I had made friends for basically the first time without getting manipulated or used by them in some way, and it was really important to me to maintain trust. So I started getting DMs on Instagram, simple, "Why would you block me? I didn't lie to anyone," and then I blocked his account. A few hours later, an empty account would message me something like, "Why are you being such a barch? This isn't fair. Talk to me." It finally stopped after maybe a couple of weeks, which didn't reassure me he wasn't still on my account, but it gave me a little bit of a break from him. Didn't want to private my account because I post my art there, and if I private my account, I get far fewer commissions. It's bad for a while, but it dies down. I'm okay, and I feel safe enough. Cue me beginning to date my girlfriend 5 months ago, and it's heck again. I'm getting death threats to my social media. In the time between calming down and me meeting her, I changed my number. I don't know how he found my new one, but he starts sending me voicemails, one of which claimed he would like to kidnap me. Recently, gifts have been sent to my home address, nothing like bombs or threatening or anything like that, but I still do not at all like the fact that he knows my address. The last time I saw him in person, he saw me and followed me from a distance. Not sure if he noticed that I noticed him. All the while this is happening, he's whining to his now former friends that I'm stalking him or being cruel to him when all I did was exist. Wish I had a happy ending, but nah, lol. He's still out there, obsessed with kidnapping, killing, roping, dating, or whatever he wants. On the bright side, he's never threatened my cat before, so she's probably safe. Hopefully things settle down, and honestly, this is probably more than enough evidence you could take to your local authorities to help solve this problem. Our next story comes to us from username Speak Soft Carry a Stick. Not even safe on Halloween. This happened a while ago, but it stuck with me and I finally decided to throw this up. I hope it fits here. I'm a college student, or was, just graduated, and last year on Halloween, I decided it would be fun to cosplay Metaton around my school. It's an art school, so tons of people were dressed up for the day, and there's even some outrageous makeup looks that show up around the campus on the regular. For example, a student who wore clown makeup almost every day. Honestly though, they looked amazing and they always did a great job with color coordination. One day I complimented them on it and they said, "Thanks, I pulled today's colors from my green tea," so that's a level of weird but beautiful we're working with here. Anyways, I was all cosplayed up, and for makeup, I painted the rivets down the side of my face as well as giving myself the black lipstick and eyeliner. It was very clearly costume makeup, and not to toot my own horn, but I looked hot as heck. I don't often feel confident in my appearance. I don't hate how I look or anything, mostly I just feel neutral, so it was nice to feel attractive. An important detail is that I don't usually wear makeup. It's not that I don't like it, it's just that I'm usually too lazy to put it on, and when I do, I tend to go for big dramatic looks. Another important detail to note is that due to my school being an art school, almost everyone there is queer and the general atmosphere is very different than anywhere else I've ever been. I'm more likely to get catcalled while crossing the street than I am to get inappropriately ogled in class, and no one bats an eye at seeing someone pair a beard with a skirt. All of this is to say that I didn't expect any negative reaction to my costume. I was on break from class when I went to go grab some food in the cafeteria. Now, because of a misunderstanding when I was recounting this story to my mom, I'd like to stress something. The workers in the cafeteria are way older than most of the students on campus. Like, old enough to be our parents older. Usually that's not a bad thing. Most of the women who work there give off very strong mom energy, and it's enough to make you want to cry when finals come around and all you want is someone to pat you on the head and tell you it'll be okay. In this case though, it made everything that much worse. I waited in line to get up to the counter and place my order, and then waited for it to finish grilling. There were two guys on duty, one taking orders and one filling pre-cooked ones, i.e. chicken tenders and fries, and the other manning the grill to put burgers together. After having placed my order, I was left kind of chilling at the counter with guy number one, who looked to be a new employee. I'm bad with names, but I'm pretty great with faces, so I was moderately sure I hadn't seen him around before. He looked me up and down, which I was used to and cool with. Again, Halloween, a lot of people have been checking out my costume, and I'd been doing the same to them. I was expecting him to maybe ask what I was dressed up as. Since he was older, I didn't anticipate him knowing much about Undertale or even just complimenting my costume. What I wasn't expecting was the old nice guy standby. He led into it innocently enough. "Did you do that yourself?" I nodded. I'm honestly kinda proud of my makeup skills, even if this wasn't anywhere near my most complicated work, just some lipstick and eyeliner. He nodded back and then said the dreaded words. "You know, you're so pretty, you really don't need all that makeup." What? I was honestly more shocked than anything else. I had never been, "you look prettier without makeup" in real life before. What I was mostly shocked about was, again, the fact that it was Halloween and my makeup was clearly part of a costume. A few years ago, I probably would have been confident enough to come back at him with anything, but college had helped me work on my anxiety, and honestly, spite and anger make me more able to speak up. So very politely, but swallowing a lot of internal screaming, I told him, "That's really not a compliment. I worked hard on this makeup and I'm wearing it because I like it." I feel like I might have broken him because he blinked at me a few times before repeating himself. Clearly, I just hadn't understood him. "Oh no, I'm just saying you look really pretty and you don't need the makeup." And I said I want to wear it. It's part of a costume and I look good. "But I'm just saying." At this point, he started trying to rope guy number two into things, looking over at him and gesturing at me. Guy number two was an employee I'd seen around quite a bit, and he was usually pretty quiet, and he was giving guy number one a "do not involve me in this" look. "She's really pretty. Don't you think she's too pretty to wear makeup?" He kept repeating that over and over like a skipping record. I think my refusal to take the compliment left him with no way to continue forward in the conversation. After my initial attempt at standing up for myself, I also started to get pretty anxious, and clearly what I had said didn't help, so I just stayed quiet as he kept trying to repeat the same thing. I'm forever going to be grateful to guy number 2 for not joining in and instead getting my food to me as quickly as possible, especially because guy 2 was even older than guy 1 and I already felt gross enough. I checked out and got back to class before the anxiety attack got too bad, and I was able to keep it relatively in check. It remains one of the weirdest cases of nice guy compliments I've ever encountered, because I was pretty sure I'd be safe considering the makeup in question was literal rivets drawn onto my face. Interestingly, the next time I encountered the guy, he didn't say anything at all to me. I'm not sure if it's because guy 2 talked to him, if so, thanks guy 2, or if I looked so unremarkable without my costume on he no longer thought I was pretty. That employee didn't last long, and I'm guessing I know why. No one at my school would take the creepy stuff when all they're trying to do is eat, and the trash could have taken itself out when the guy hit on someone he thought was a girl only to panic and quit when he realized no one at my school can be gendered without an explicit pronoun list from the person themselves, particularly around Halloween. Yeah, not gonna lie, that one honestly would creep me out too, cause I just want to eat a burger. I don't want to be told I don't need to have makeup and I should be taking a compliment, okay? I just want to eat my burger. Our last story comes to us from username Cheeky Neko. Guy misunderstood inappropriate for being friendly. Sorry for the formatting, I'm on mobile. I have never really met a nice guy before until I entered grad school, and boy, I am shook to this day. This happened about 2 years ago. Bear with me cause this may be a long story. This guy, A, is the first classmate I met, so I thought I'd be nice to ask him about the assignment briefing that I'd missed out. He basically briefed me about it over lunch in school, and I thought, oh cool, first friend in grad school, tight. Well, it wasn't cool. It was the beginning of intrusive questioning about my relationships very soon after our conversation about assignment ended. He persistently asked about my relationship and overshare his past relationship. At the time, I hadn't thought of him as creepy dude, but definitely coming off weird to me. He started telling me about his working holiday experience in Aussie, how he had involved in the rehabilitation of military personnel and social services. Then he sorta low-key boasting to me about his ability to finance himself in grad school, bought a car, and still had no luck in relationships. He asked me questions like, what's the perfect date night for me? And I answered him in a way that's stopping him from asking questions like these without coming off rude, e.g. perfect date nights for me is spending quality time with my boyfriend. Then he moved on to how he had a girlfriend and she just disappeared or passed away. I wasn't sure if he's serious or did I hear it right, but I did not want to find out more because it all happened within the first day I know him. I felt uncomfortable, so I made up an excuse to go home. It felt too weird that I had to call my boyfriend and spill the tea. Man, I thought that was the end of it since I did not want to spend any time alone with this dude anymore. So when I saw him in the next class, I thought sitting further away would avoid more awkward conversations, but he came by and said hi, asked me more uncomfortable questions about my relationship like, how's you and your boyfriend? Still together? Again, I'm not a very confrontational person, so I tried answering him politely that my boyfriend and I are very much happily together. Thank you for asking. He's not getting any hints at all. There came a point where I made new friends in the class and they would help me get out of his desperate questions or just any awkward conversations. One day I decided I had enough and told him off through texting him about how uncomfortable I was with his questions about my personal life and overall interactions. I didn't want to criticize more though. Part of me really wanted to call him a nice guy. He did not take it too well and he said he thought he was being friendly. He didn't talk to me ever since. And after a year, a new batch of students joined our class. Apparently, he pulled the same thing with another girl. B and overshared his personal life and asked a bunch of intrusive questions that made her uncomfortable. He also told B that one of our classmates, C, came off too fierce when she is very outspoken and assertive, which is why he can never work well with her. By the way, A and C were in a group for an assignment before we swapped teammates. C told me that A made an inappropriate joke during one of the presentations and the vibe got really awkward after that. During one of the classes we took later on, we had mock interviews with one another. He was appointed as one of the interviewer among others. We interviewed B and asked relevant questions about experience, yada yada yada, and when it's A's turn, he asked stuff like, are you married? Have you ever been harassed before in your previous company? Honestly, we were not expecting these questions and everyone looked stumped. The professor was a dude and he was just as dumbfounded as everyone else. We thought we heard it wrong and C just blurred out, "Well, not anymore, considering what you ask is extremely unprofessional and can be considered a harassment itself." B chimed in and said that was utterly stupid for him to behave as such, and our professor told him to keep quiet if he doesn't have any smart things to say. That was the last semester, and honestly, I regretted so much for not taking the chance to tell him that he needs help. Oh, did I mention that he's 28? I was naive to think that a 28-year-old in grad school should be decent enough to know his boundaries. Boy, am I wrong. Bonus point, he told B he needed time to heal because B rejecting his advances because he's a nice guy that constantly getting rejected for being friendly. Shaking my head. B rejected his gift that he claimed it's a gesture of friendship. He gave her chocolates on Valentine's Day, and he said he needed time to recover and heal. Okay, at that point, he's just being over dramatic and stupid. And with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you would like to be absolutely amazing and supportive and want to see more videos like this, be sure to slam the like button, leave a comment down below what you liked about the video, and if you have not already, subscribe to the channel. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.